my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily, and today I am going to share with you a little book haul because clearly I don't have enough books, but I am very, very excited about these things and I thought I should share. Let's jump into the books. I did spend my own money on all of these things. None of these were sent to me. I did use my employee discount though, so not too big a dent. The first book that I want to talk about is Girls Resist, which is a guide to activism, leadership, and starting a revolution by KaeLyn Rich. Now, I heard about this on Hannah McGregor's podcast, The Secret Feminist Agenda. Hannah interviewed KaeLyn about this book. So this is a practical guide to activism. So it's all great that we tell girls, like, fight the sexist dress codes, you do the thing, but we don't give them the tools. This is a practical guide on how to mobilize, how to raise awareness, how to go lobbying to your elected officials, how to delegate team roles, which tactics to use to do what things. It gives you very clear messaging, very clear breakdowns. It's very accessible. This is just a really awesome tool to equip any young person in your life with. It is marketed to girls. This is a great tool for any marginalized person, whether or not you identify as a girl. So the next book I have here is the sequel to A Mask of Shadows by Linsey Miller, and that is Rune of Stars by Linsey Miller. So Mask of Shadows is the first book in a fantasy series in which the character is gender fluid. And I think that's pretty rad. Also, a lot of the side characters are queer, and that's just no big deal in this fantasy society, and I think that's great because fantasy literature is the literature of subversion. It's great to see just society set up in a way that doesn't directly mirror our society right now in North America. I know a lot of people are saying that this isn't the most innovative, it's not the most interesting, like it's something that we've seen a lot before, except for the gender fluid character. And I mean, for me, that is enough. That is enough to want to support Linsey Miller and pick up the second book in the series and see where this is going, see the ways in which fantasy can be used to play with and critique our everyday society. So very, very excited to get to Rune of Stars. The next book I have here, I happened to notice when we were doing returns and I was like, ooh, this is really neat. So that is White as Milk, Red as Blood, The Forgotten Fairy Tales of Franz Xaver von Shönwerth, illustrated by Willow Dawson, translated by Shelley Tanaka, with a foreword by Philip Pullman. All wonderful things. First of all, let's appreciate how frickin' sexy this book is on the outside. You can see why I noticed it. Everything about the inside is just fantastic. And the stories are really cool. So, from the introduction, we learn that Mr. Shönwerth, we're gonna call him Franz, we're gonna get real personal. I don't like to do this with authors, but I am not going to butcher his last name over and over again. Franz apparently had these collections of fairy tales more for personal use, and they were sort of lost. You have all of like the Grimm, the Perrault, all of those sanitized tales, Disney tales, and we see the way these oral stories are written down, how they change over time when translation was shifting viewpoints in society, and then Franz's tales, which remained in a private collection, untranslated, unsort of published, retain a lot of the darkness of original fairy tales and are either interesting variations on tales that we're very familiar with at this point, or are something like new. They're new in that we don't often see them if you think about like your standard fairy tales that most little kids are exposed to. So I am having a lot of fun reading through this. I think it is a stunning object. First of all, if you have a fairy tale lover in your life, because again, we're thinking ahead to Christmas already, we're in retail land, we're already like, we got our advent calendars out, my friends. September 1st, we put our advent calendars out. If you're thinking ahead to Christmas and you have a fairy tale lover in your life, this would make a fantastic fantastic gift because it is a beautiful giftable object, and there's some neat fairy tales that maybe your fairy tale lover hasn't stumbled across before. I have started reading this, as you can tell, definitely would recommend this. So the next book I have here is a picture book, and that is How to Make Friends with a Ghost by Rebecca Green. So this, I think, is just so adorable. It is a how-to guide. I'm a sucker for picture books, and I think that so much effort has gone into this picture book. Just, it's adorable. I love the illustration style. I love the color scheme for this. It's a little bit spooky, a little bit fall-y. If you're like me and you channel Wednesday Addams in your everyday life and you want to instill that in the little people in your life, then I think that How to Make Friends with a Ghost would be a really fun fall read for your little person. The next book I have here, I am so excited about. There was an ARC abandoned in the staff room, and I hummed and hawed about whether or not I wanted to take the ARC, and I waited like one day too long and it disappeared so quick, and that is Women Talking, a novel by Miriam Toews. Miriam Toews, beautiful, wonderful Canadian human that she is, wrote some of my favorite pieces of Canadian literature. You can see how well loved specifically these two are. I love her. She is so good. When I heard about Women Talking, I knew I had to have it. This is another one of those things where like we're unboxing the skid and we slice open the box and one of my coworkers pulls up the novel and he's like, oh, Miriam Toews, can you pass me one? And I just took it and put it aside because like this is going home with me today. So this is based on a true story. It's about a Mennonite colony in Bolivia. Between 2005 and 2009, all of these Mennonite women would wake up every morning feeling like really drowsy and really bruised, and it turns out that they were being drugged and raped by the men in their community. It is a reaction through fiction, and it sounds amazing. All right, so my battery died in the middle of that, so sorry for any inconsistencies, but the last book I have here also very, very excited for. I ordered it through Book Depository. This is the only one I didn't get my staff discount on because I don't work for the Book Depository. Paying full price for a book, how rude. That is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. So I read and loved Uprooted by Naomi Novik. It is just such a wonderful, magical tale. It gave me strong Tamora Pierce vibes, specifically denouement vibes. I love the discussions to be had around gender and magic in this book. When I heard that Spinning Silver was a thing, I knew I had to have it. So Spinning Silver is, from my understanding, not a sequel to Uprooted in any way, but still it sounds like it's going to be similar vibes, sort of playing with folklore, and I'm just gonna read you the blurb, because why not? Miriam is the daughter and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's too kind-hearted to collect his debts. They face poverty until Miriam hardens her own heart and takes up his work in their village. Her success creates rumors that she can turn silver into gold, which attracts the fairy king of winter himself. He sets her an impossible challenge, and if she fails, she'll die. Yet if she triumphs, it may mean a fate worse than death. And in her desperate efforts to succeed, Miriam unwittingly spins a web that draws in an unhappy daughter of a lord. Irina's father schemes to wed her to the Tsar. He will pay any price to achieve this goal, however, the dashing Tsar is not what he seems, and the secret he hides threatens to consume the lands of mortals and winter alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and Irina embark on a quest that will take them to the limits of sacrifice, power, and love. Again, very giftable book. The North American cover, not so giftable. I don't like the look of that cover, but I do think that these covers are gorgeous. So again, thinking ahead to Christmas, if you have a fantasy lover in your life and you want to gift them a gorgeous wintry book, especially with like the winter elements to this, I think this will make a very excellent Christmas morning read. You open this beauty up, so Instagrammable. It's great that we're this superficial, I know. Or whatever holiday you celebrate. I think with the wintry vibes, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, this will be a great sort of like Christmas or holiday gift. We're already talking about Christmas at Indigo. So it's August when I'm filming this. I'm batch filming a whole bunch of these videos. Christmas is coming. Let me know your thoughts on these books in the comments down below. Have you read any of them? Would you consider reading any of them? Or let me know what is the most recent book that you hauled. What are you most excited to pick up that you've just recently purchased? If you liked what you saw here today, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.